Hi all, welcome again to another podcast with Nat Extra. Today we have here again Dr. Prasad with an interesting topic that he came up with. So hi Dr. Prasad, can you tell about your topic?
Yeah, hi. Hi all. I'm Prasad here with a background in chemistry, having doctorate degree in chemistry and worked with some of the national research laboratories of Government of India, including Indian Council of Medical Research, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And today I thought of talking about self-respect, a reflection of maturity and confidence. And the very first thing is you respect your body.
So respect it is. So what are some of the ways in your perspective that you can respect yourself or self-respect?
Yeah. To start with the self-respect, your body, the very first thing is that you respect your blood sugar level. Blood sugar level is one thing, and it can be heart, it can be your vital organs, it can be your joints, it can be your memory and related things.
So Prasad, you were talking about respect, self-respect, which respecting your body. How would you respect blood sugar in this situation?
Yeah, thank you. There are many health concerns related to maintaining blood sugar. Finally, you can be free of diabetic, or you can be pre-diabetic, or it can be diabetic. It is mainly because of the blood sugar level in your body is not controlled, managed throughout your day or throughout your days. The very first thing is that blood sugar level can impact. If you are not managing your blood sugar level, it can impact your heart, it can impact your blood vessels, it can impact your kidney, it can impact your nervous system and many vital organs in the past.
So, as you said, the numbers of blood sugar level, people having blood sugar level from the past have increased a lot when you look in the present, right, sir?
Sure.
So that's mainly based probably because of the food patterns or the kind of food they have been consuming, right, sir? So,
Exactly.
what would you say are good foods or good a good diet that people could follow?
Yeah, good. To manage your blood sugar level, to maintain the blood sugar level consistently throughout your day or throughout your days, the very first thing is that what type of food you consume, both what type of food and what quantity of food you consume. Broadly, there are
So
two
you would say even
parameters.
quantity is important,
Quantity
type
is
and
important.
quantity.
Yeah, there are two parameters we can classify foods what you take. Before that, I thought of telling you why you require food, why you require the other way we call is energy in your body. There are broadly about 30 million cells in your body. 30 million cells. If you put 3 and 13 zeros will come. That many cells are in operation, lively cells are in your body. That cells require, living cells require energy every day, every moment, every second it requires energy. This energy to the cells, these living cells are provided through the food you consume. Food what you consume will have carbohydrates, it will have proteins, it will have some fatty lipid materials. So energy after digestion, after you consume the food, after you drink some food material, what is considered the food will get digested, and this digested food will produce carbohydrate, will release glucose in your bloodstream, and from the bloodstream the cells get the glucose through a hormone called insulin. From the blood sugar, blood glucose, insulin transport this glucose into the cell, and cell get the energy. So finally, the food what you consume converted, digested, and the carbohydrate generate glucose, and glucose is getting transported to the cell, and this glucose is converted into ATPs in your cell, and ATP decompose and energy is released. As I mentioned, 30 million,
Plus,
sorry, 30 trillion, sorry, it's a trillion,
oh,
30
so it's
trillion
not
cells
million,
are there.
trillion
Each,
cells.
each cell require energy, and the number of ATPs required for a adult person per day I'll tell you the number. It is around 5.9 into 10 raised to 25. If you do 6 zeros and 25 zeros of ATP is required per day for an adult person. So I'll tell you, one glucose molecule will generate around 35 to 36 ATPs, one glucose molecule when it is and consumed from a bloodstream, transported to your cell, one glucose unit will give 34 to 36 ATP units, and a fat molecule, a fatty acid and other thing one molecule produce around 106, but the requirement is around 5.9 into 10 raised to 25 ATP is required per day. And then the other way around, your body, an adult person, require around 2000 to 2500 kilocalories of energy per day to maintain your cell active, to maintain your physical activities and maintain your self activities throughout the day. 2000 to 2500 kilocalories of energy obtained from these three foods: the carbohydrate you consume, the fatty material, lipid material you consume, the protein you consume. The very first energy source is carbohydrate. Whenever some quick energy is required, it is consumed from the carbohydrate, then come from protein, then come from lipid, the fatty material you consumed, like the milk you consumed, the vegetable oil you consumed in your food, and the proteins you consumed. The very first source is carbohydrate. Carbohydrate again will have easily digestible carbohydrates or readily available carbohydrates and slow releasing, sustained release carbohydrate. That depends upon the food what you have consumed. Yes.
So these are, so you would say that if you eat junk food, you are not properly treating or properly feeding your cells, right, sir?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
When it's bad.
Exactly.
So what are some of the foods that you would recommend for a person who is facing blood sugar?
Okay, good. Scientifically, there are two terms used to classify the food you take. One is glycemic index. Each food are classified in glycemic index. The second one is glycemic load. Glycemic index is a parameter monitored in a 0 to 100 scale. So each food will be classified in a scale of 0 to 100, where 100 is obtained when 50 grams of glucose is consumed by a person, a fasting person, and monitored the glucose level over a period of 2 hours. So glucose level monitored from the fasting glucose level to 2 hours when you consume 50 grams of glucose. Next day, the same person will consume a food containing 50 grams of carbohydrate. So food quantity will be higher, but that food will have about 50 grams of carbohydrate. That carbohydrate can be readily available carbohydrate, or it can be sustained release carbohydrate. So next day, the same person will have a food containing 50 grams of carbohydrates. If it is rice, 50 grams of carbohydrate will come from 175 grams of rice. 50 grams of chapati, carbohydrate will get released from around 78 grams of chapati. That means, so the second day, a person will consume 50 grams of carbohydrate and monitor the sugar level over a period of 2 hours. And if the sugar level is maintained throughout the 2 hours at the same level as your fasting blood, then you will have 0 glycemic index. If the sugar level is maintained as similar to the glucose level, then you will have 100 glycemic index. So from that, the food item what you consumed containing 50 grams of carbohydrate, if the sugar level is maintained similar to that of glucose, you will get a glycemic index of 100. And if your sugar level is maintained at 0 level as your fasting blood, you will get a glycemic index of 0. So all food items, let it be the food item, major food items, or the fruits, or the nuts, or the vegetables, are getting classified under glycemic index value. Yeah.